The men are from Broward County, one from Fort Lauderdale, the other one from Oakland Park. But now we're getting more information about the third man, Jared Chase. He's from New Hampshire, but has very close ties to South Florida, specifically to the Occupy Miami movement. And just months ago, he had a clash with police at this grassy area right behind me.
Go.
All right, so we're having a difficulty here trying to get that information to you, but what we do know right now about Jared Chase, he was involved in the Occupy Miami movement and had spent some time right here outside of Government Center in downtown Miami. That's where we're at right now. This is what used to be that tent city that Occupy Miami occupied for months until January 31st when police evicted the group from here. After that, Jared Chase went off to an apartment building in Overtown, not too far from here. That apartment building also occupied by Occupy Miami protesters, calling that place Fort Peace, others calling it Peace City. And there is where he was last seen before he left to Chicago, and then is now accused, him and the two other men from Broward County, of the terrorist plot targeting both the Obama campaign headquarters as well as Chicago police and the home of Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Here's more information.
Jared Chase, one of the three men facing terrorism charges following a raid on this Chicago apartment Wednesday, was among the last Occupy Miami protesters to leave camp outside Miami-Dade's Government Center. Chase was charged with loitering and prowling when the group was evicted from their camp in January. Those charges were later dropped. He then lived in this Overtown building with other Occupy protesters where he gave off different impressions.
He just kind of had like the papal presence around him. Yeah, you know, it's just not someone I'd want to associate with.
He never talked about making weapons like they said on the media.
I never heard
none of that stuff. Here, he was very peaceful.
Now Chase and two Broward County men, Brent Betterly and Brian Church, are in custody in Chicago, accused of plotting attacks on President Obama's campaign headquarters and Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel's home, among other targets.
At one point during the investigation, defendant Church stated that he wanted to recruit four co-conspirators to conduct raids. The evidence also showed that they had already conducted reconnaissance at Chicago Police Department headquarters for the purpose of a planned attack.
In October, Betterly was arrested for a September break-in at Northeast High School in Oakland Park. Surveillance video capturing it all. When arrested with the other two at the Chicago apartment, the FBI and the Secret Service recovered weapons, 4 completed Molotov cocktails, written plans for the assembly of pipe bombs, and an assault vest.
It is a setup, an entrapment to the highest degree.
The defendants say the equipment recovered from the apartment was for making beer and not bombs. The legal group representing the men say the prosecutors are using the men to scare off NATO summit protesters.
Absolutely believe that this is part of the city's campaign to spread fear and intimidation on the streets of Chicago, without a question.
So those three men now in custody in Chicago, each of them facing $1.5 million bond, and of course have not yet been released. Now we're learning that a fourth man is also facing terrorism charges in the Windy City. It's 24-year-old Sebastian Sinakowicz. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now, this fourth man, however, is not related at all with the other three men that were arrested earlier in the week. Well, I'm in downtown Miami. I'm Eugene Ramirez, 7 News.